Turkey has agreed a roadmap with the United States to try and avoid a confrontation in northern Syria over the city of Manbij. The YPG is regarded as a terrorist group by Turkey, but had been based there while working with US forces in operations against Daesh. I'm Andrew Hopkins, and I'm talking to the Turkish President's senior advisor, Gulnur Aybet, one-on-one. Turkey and the United States have agreed on a roadmap for Manbij, which includes the YPG withdrawing from the city. How much faith do you have that the United States will keep to this agreement, bearing in mind that I think the Turkish government has felt let down by the United States in the past over issues such as supplying weapons to the YPG?
Yes, well, the United States government have made 3 promises to Turkey, and these have been made in official meetings, and also it was reiterated by President Trump when President Erdogan met him at the White House last year. So it's been over a year since these promises were made, and one of them was the withdrawal of the YPG from Manbij, and the other one was the taking back of the weapons that they had supplied to the YPG and to stop arming the YPG. So none of those promises have actually materialized as yet. This roadmap that was agreed by the working groups and then endorsed by the 2 foreign ministers is a very positive step in ensuring the way forward.
But how confident are you that they will stick to their word, they'll stick to this agreement?
Well, I think the United States have come to an understanding that the initial tactical decision that was largely a militarily driven decision to arm the YPG has now turned into having more negative results with regards to, first of all, the relationship it has with a major ally in NATO, Turkey, but also in terms of what this means in post-conflict reconstruction and stability in Syria after the war.
So the Turkish government said as part of this deal on Manbij that if it works out, this can be rolled out to other areas in northern Syria where the YPG is currently in control, and I imagine that will mean there are going to be local councils put in place in those cities, but also that would, I presume, mean there's going to be a larger Turkish and US military presence in a lot of different parts of northern Syria as well. Is that what's likely to happen?
Yes, well, I mean, Turkey's concern has always been this. We don't want to see demographic changes in Syria enforced by any of the parties on the ground. So in the areas that are now occupied by the YPG, the majority of the population in areas like Manbij have always been Arab. And a lot of these people have been driven out of their homes. And also Kurds who are not recognizing the YPG in these areas have also been driven out of their homes. And Turkey hosts about 200,000 Syrian Kurds who have not just fled from ISIS, Daesh, but also from the YPG. So what we would like to see is local councils being governed by people who are the actual owners of these places.
But to achieve all that, then that sounds like that means a much wider presence for the US and Turkish military in northern Syria to try and achieve all that you've just said.
Well, Turkey, of course, has had 2 major military operations into northern Syria, Euphrates Shield and Afrin. But the reason for those operations was because the YPG and PKK were using those territories to launch attacks within Turkey. So that was initially a priority in terms of national security. But we are, of course, also very concerned about further stabilization in Syria. But we don't want to control large areas in northern Syria. Whatever is necessary to work with our allies on the ground to ensure that these areas are not controlled by the YPG, we will work on that with our allies.